Hi, Biscuit. Biscuit, why are we called the Petal Cafe?
Cookie, because we love to imagine the before times, the pre-calamity times, when we would sit down at a coffee shop with our friends and chat over a hot drink and a pastry. We aim to recreate that feeling while we keep the conversation going. Today, we continue that conversation with our two special guests, Peonyskies, or Alex,
Hi.
and Katiieberries, or Katie.
Hi.
Here at the Petal Cafe, we believe that anyone can be a capital G gamer. We spend our precious downtime adventuring, exploring, building worlds, and appreciating games that give us that cozy vibe. If you know us, you'll know we started with Animal Crossing, but there's so much else out there. Grab a cup of your favorite bevy and settle in while we poke around the wholesome wholesome world of video games, with this week's special guest, Alex and Katie, while we talk about Stardew Valley.
Let me introduce myself. I'm Cookie. I'm a variety streamer focusing on Nintendo and indie gems. I was going to say games, and then I said gems, and then it was James. All very confusing. Please meet James. Mostly of the Wholesome kind. I've got two quite vocal cats who you might sometimes hear on the stream or on the podcast, and I also do art journaling. I usually stream a weeknight and a weekend night. Currently, our schedule's a bit in flux, so I can't tell you when that'll be.
Hello, friends! I am Biscuit. I am a variety streamer. I play Nintendo and PC games. I have a vegan artisan soap shop. The shop is called To Read Suds. I've moved my shop to Etsy for now because the other one was too expensive. I'm also a dog mom. My dog is Petal. She's an 8-year-old Chihuahua. And you can always find her on her little camera in my streams. So Alex, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
All right. I'm Alex. I guess I would also call myself a variety streamer. I like RPGs. Mostly play Genshin Impact, but I also love Animal Crossing and Stardew Valley, which is what we're going to talk about today. And yeah, I also do a lot of drawing, digital drawing. So I do take commission work for emotes and other artwork. And yeah, I have 2 cats. I have a dog, and I live with my partner of 3 years.
Ooh, fancy. Katie.
Hi everyone, I'm Katie. I don't want to say I'm a variety streamer because I play a lot of Animal Crossing with some Stardew Valley and Breath of the Wild and probably some Pokemon thrown in. So a lot of Nintendo games, I guess, would be the right way how to describe it. I stream mostly on the weekends, on Saturdays and Sundays, and like Biscuit, I'm a dog mom to a very sassy beagle named Macy, who likes to make herself known on stream at times. But yeah.
Well, thank you for joining us today. We're very excited to have you both. It's very exciting. We've taken a couple weeks off just because our schedules are so in flux, but we're happy to be back. So, Cookie, you'd mentioned to me you had some news to talk about for this week.
Obviously we've been away for a couple of weeks, and so things have sort of passed us by, but a few fairly significant things have happened. We have got news about the final update to Mario Golf Super Rush. We're now on 4.0, and they just added the final set of characters and courses. I have not dove into it
Divot?
yet. But I am looking forward to it because my favorite thing to play in Mario Kart and other games when I have the opportunity is Shy Guy, and they added Shy Guy. So exciting. But they also added Wiggler as a playable character? Question mark?
I don't know. I don't have this game.
Like,
That's all you.
You know, remember Wiggler from Mario Party where you have to play Don't Wake Wiggler? It's the caterpillar.
Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah.
Like,
Wait. You can play as the caterpillar in Mario Golf to, like, run across the greens to, like, get to the other side.
apparently.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that was my response. I was like, really? Wiggler? I mean,
Okay.
it's a choice. It is a choice. A choice has been made.
Valvin wants to know if you get super angry.
Oh, I don't know. Maybe. That would be funny.
That would be hilarious. I feel like I would definitely buy the game just for Wiggler and getting angry like that. That's hilarious.
Well, I will try it and report back. How's that?
Please. So what else is the news of the Wholesome Games world?
Well, a couple of tiny little games came out called Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl.
Ooh, those are teeny tiny little games.
A couple of people have been playing it lately, and
just a few
have been streaming it. It's come across my
I think one or two. One or two people I've seen play, stream it.
Yeah. By which I mean, there's almost nothing else on my stream list right now, and folks are loving it.
Yeah.
I know that Katie, you've been playing it.
Yes, I have. And
What's your hot take? Yeah.
So I'm not a big Pokemon person, and I absolutely love it. So
Well, that's saying something.
Yeah, I think it is. Yeah.
Golly.
I wasn't expecting for it to, like, I guess, hook me in as fast as it did and keep my attention, but it has.
Wow.
Cool.
That is definitely saying something.
I personally am holding out for Arceus.
Me too.
So we'll see, but I don't know. I mean, I've talked before about my Pokemon career being, it began and ended with red. So I don't know. We'll see. It does look awfully cute, though. I've been watching some of the streams with Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl, and the graphics look just stunning.
The underground place looks really fun. It's kind of like it's hooked. It's like the underground place is like hooked into me. I kind of might want to buy it, but like maybe I'm gonna wait for a little bit. Maybe someone will give it into GameStop or something like that, and I can get it at a discount.
Oh, maybe at some point. Yes, that's a good idea.
Maybe
that's how you should get Mario Golf.
Also, yes. Okay, so what else?
Okay, so there was an update to Minecraft. Oh my gosh, it's happening again. Caves and Cliffs. Not Claves. Part 2. This is going to happen all night, guys.
It's fine. So I'm a Minecraft player, and people were losing their mind over caves and cliffs. Because to find a cave, you'd have to like dig. They just didn't like pop up naturally in worlds. So this is really exciting. Downside, you have to create a new world if you want to add it on, But
you
hey,
can't just incorporate it into your existing map.
No, once you create a map, it's a whole thing where like that's the created map, and it doesn't update. You have to create a whole new map. But that's always been the case with Minecraft. So that's not anything new for us. Like, that's nothing new.
Okay.
So I see you have one more item on your list of news this week.
Yeah, and it's I feel like it's timely and relevant.
Oh,
I'm looking at some patch notes for Stardew 1.5.5.
yeah, man.
Do you want to tell us about those things?
So there's a lot of bug fixes in the 1.5.5 update. One of the there's two quality of life ones that we wanted to highlight that we're very excited about. Holding control in addition to shift now lets you purchase and craft stacks of 25 items at a time. So you don't have to sit there and click. It's very exciting.
Nice.
Also, you can now buy back items you accidentally sold in the same shopping session. I have done this more than once, where it's like, oops, didn't mean to sell that. Wanted it back. Forgot it was 2 items ago.
Oh.
So that's it's very exciting that we those quality of life updates. Oh yes, and garden pots no longer lose any applied fertilizers when they are harvested from. I did see that, Malvin. And I haven't used a garden pot in a while, actually. You guys use garden pots, Katie and Alex?
I don't think I've ever used a garden pot. I frankly don't even know what it's for.
I don't think I've gotten that far.
And then also the 1.5.6 update is currently underway. They are working directly with Pathos Child, a creator of Smappy, a very popular Stardew modding tool, to add even more support to the game, including some long-requested Holy Grail changes, which should make some aspects of modding much easier in the future. They've given Pathos Child source code access to help them accomplish this task. Very exciting.
Amazing.
Yes, that's very exciting.
Oh, speaking of dog, my dog wants on my lap, so give me a second.
Of course.
No, you can't have my snack.
I had heard that Concerned Ape was very open to working with mod developers. Is this an unexpected thing, or like is this above and beyond, or is this pretty much par for the course?
No, it's for for the course as far as I know, because he's always been a supporter of people that want to give a different or like make changes to his game that maybe he didn't think of, right? Mm-hmm. Like he can't think of everything. He made an amazing game, right? Like he's gotta ask for help.
I mean, he's a one-man shop, so yeah.
For the most part, he was when he started this game, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and that moves us into this week's review is we are talking about Concerned Ape's Stardew Valley, which I am so excited about. Check this out. Woo! I may have downloaded the pictures and logos from his site.
Pretty. I always really like that font.
Yeah, right. And then hang on, let me just start this. Oop.
Next slide, please.
Oh, you joke, but like oh, you don't even know. Like, check this out. Oh, slideshow.
Marvelous.
Biscuit set up all the things. I'm gonna post all the images on Instagram with tagging Concerned Ape.
That's a great idea.
Stardew Valley was
for our especially for our audio listeners. Posting that on Instagram is a fantastic idea.
Yeah. So Stardew Valley was created by Concerned Ape. It was released February 22nd, 2016. So this game is like 5 years old. Stardew Valley is an open-ended country life RPG. You inherited your grandfather's old farm plot in Stardew Valley. Armed with hand-me-down tools and a few coins, you set out to begin your new life. Can you learn to live off the land and turn these overgrown fields into a thriving home? It won't be easy. Ever since Joja Corporation came to town, the old ways of life have all but disappeared. The community center, once the town's most vibrant hub of activity, now lies in shambles. But the valley seems full of opportunity. With a little dedication, you might just be the one to restore Stardew Valley to greatness. So it was made solely by Concerned Ape, or Eric Barone, over the course of 4.5 years. The 1.1 update was also developed only by Concerned Ape. In the 1.3 update, he created new gameplay content, and Tom Coxon, formerly of Chucklefish, developed the netcode allowing co-op multiplayer in Stardew Valley, which launched in 2018 for PC and Switch.
I know Chucklefish.
And then
I follow them on for about other games. That's cool.
Yeah. And then on PS4 and Xbox in 2019. Console ports are done by Sickhead Games, and mobile ports are done by The Secret Police. For the 1.4 update, game developers Arthur Lee and Alex Aronson joined up with Eric to continue working on Stardew Valley. Currently, the Stardew team is just Eric and Arthur. Stardew Valley is a self-published game by Concerned Ape. Chucklefish is the publisher for mobile. It has controller support, which is very exciting.
Mm-hmm.
And it has a Metacritic score of 88,
Nice.
a user rating of 8.8, and an average price of between $14.99 USD to $16.99 Canadian. Prices do vary per platform. It is available on Steam, Humble, Xbox One, PlayStation 4, Nintendo Switch, PlayStation Vita, I didn't know, iOS App Store, and Android. And you can pet the dog. What?
That's one of the criteria of whether a game is good or not, is whether you can pet the dog.
Oh, all right. So, I got into Stardew Valley when Stardew Valley, probably shortly after it came out. I don't remember who introduced me. It might have been our mod Valvin. But I was hooked. I loved this little farming sim. I have played multiple iterations of the farms. And what I really appreciate is that every game I play is so different based on the farm, based on what I do in it. I never get bored. And that's what I really appreciate. Like, I wholeheartedly love about this game. I will keep going back to Stardew Valley because I never get bored. And excuse me, until recently, I had no idea that there was such a rich backstory into every one of these characters. It was not I gifted you to so someone told me about it, and then I gifted him, apparently. And then, the reason I know about these backstories now is actually because of Katie. I had no idea. I think I married one person in any of the games that I've played, and that was Elliot. And, like, I never really got into his backstory too much that I remember, but I also married him in my first game, and that was like so many years ago. So let's So let's start with Alex. How long have you been playing Stardew Valley?
I would say I've been playing Stardew since June of this year.
Oh wow, so you're relatively new.
Yes, I'm relatively new. And that's because I haven't played video games in general for a very long time. For the longest time, Minecraft was actually the only game that I'd ever played. And
Mm.
Minecraft still holds a very special place in my heart. That's like
Mhm.
a game that I played since like 2013, and it's the sort of the only way that I could bond with my younger brother since
Oh.
he's 7 years younger than me. And, growing up, there wasn't a lot that a teenage girl and a kid boy could relate, like
Yeah.
there wasn't a lot that we could do together that we would both enjoy until we started playing Minecraft. And I really grew to love the game. But besides Minecraft, I hadn't really played any other games
Mhm.
until New Horizons came out in March of 2020, and
Mhm.
that sort of segued into me finding other games like a Stardew Valley and Breath of the Wild, Genshin Impact,
Mhm.
um, and things of the like. um, so yes, I haven't been playing it for that long. I think I've made so much progress since then, though, because I do play it a lot.
Yeah.
It's a fantastic game, and even without mods, there's so much to do, and it's like almost every time I play, I feel like I learn something new.
Mhm.
Um, which is incredible. I think I have two saves. I
Mhm.
have my main save, and then me and Katie have a co-op farm.
Yeah.
Um, but the possibilities are really endless, even with the game unmodded, and then you add mods where you make every character romanceable or you add mods that make like they add new characters to the game, and then it expands those possibilities even
Mhm.
more.
Mhm.
But just for reference, I married Sebastian in my
Mm.
main save.
Okay.
I love Sebastian with my whole heart. um and I've enjoyed our marriage. I think Sebastian is a fine young man. However, in my other save with Katie, I do intend on romancing someone else and seeing
Oh.
that experience. I was thinking either Leah or Emily
Oh, nice.
are the two bachelorettes that I am in between.
Okay.
Um
Uh,
And yeah, currently in the game, I am pretty early on in Ginger Island. So I am on that walnut grind right now. And that's what I've been doing in the game.
And that's something that was added in 1.3 or 1.4, I believe. Um, that I haven't actually even hit yet. Which is I'm working on it. It's a slow grind for me. 1.5. Okay, thank you, Valvin. 1.5. Katie, how long have you been playing Stardew Valley?
I've been playing Stardew since February of this year, so I'm still relatively new.
You both are relatively new. Wow.
But I remember seeing Stardew, so like AC Twitter, as we all know,
Mm-hmm.
Animal Crossing. Apparently
Mm-hmm.
Stardew like got really big in like November, December of last year. So I remember seeing it, but I was like, yeah, no, like I'm
Mm-hmm.
not gonna play another game right now. Um,
Yeah.
because much like Alex, I wasn't a gamer growing up, so like I didn't play like a lot of games. And I
Mm-hmm.
had my Switch like right after it came out in 2017, and all I played was kind of like Mario Kart, or
Mm-hmm.
like I wouldn't touch it at all until Animal Crossing came out. So that kind of opened it up my horizons to like new games, but then it was like
Mm-hmm.
streaming that like really like expanded, I guess, games that I could play.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember my first farm, I still have it. I thought that the game ended in 4 years So I was like rushing to get everything done. And I was so determined. And then I realized from watching Twitch streams that you can have a 100-year farm. And I was like, oh, great. Haven't touched that farm since. And I've restarted. But I won't delete it because like it just holds like so much like sentimental value to me that I can't just get rid of it, even though like it's a total disaster. Oh my gosh, that farm.
Oh yeah, like my first farm, same thing, that I married Elliot. I won't get rid of it. But I'll probably never play it again.
No. I like after I kind of figured out like how to do things
in
Stardew my way, I logged into it and I was just like, oh my gosh, this is like a disaster. But
oh no.
Yeah, it's bad. I may have to pull it up on stream one time just to show y'all because like, oh, it's a mess. But I have 4 saves on the Switch. So I have that save. Then I have one that I play on stream. I have another one that I don't play off stream. And then back in like August, September, I learned that like you could 100% the game. So I have a run just for 100%ing the game. I like my own pace of it. And then I have I have 2 on the computer. One that I try to play with mods to kind of like ease into it. And then the one that I have with Alex.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I have 6 all together. It's fine.
It's fine. It's fine. My current one that I play on stream is so I think I've done almost every farm. I have a save for almost every farm. I think the only farm I didn't do was the river farm. I have like the forest one. I've got 4 quarters, and I have the standard farm, which is my first save. And the one that I have decided to 100%, I did the beach farm this time. And I was reading it. It's like not for beginner players, and I'm like, well, I've been playing this game for years, so I definitely am not a beginner player. I have to tell you, I absolutely love the beach farm. Because the amount of space they give you with the standard farm overwhelms me. I feel like I need to fill that entire thing with like crops.
I can agree with you. Both of my saves are on a standard farm, and even in my main save that I am on like year 5 at this point, I still have not cleared out most of those trees. Right? In the farm, it's like so much space, and I don't even know what to do with it. And I mean, I have an extra building that I feel like most players don't need. I have a slime hutch, and everyone tells you not to get a slime hutch because it's pointless and stupid. But my husband, Sebastian, wanted to raise slimes, and me being the wife that I am, I said, honey, if you want to raise slimes, I will get us a slime hutch. So that's what I did. I got my mother-in-law, Robin, to build a slime hutch, and now my husband and I raise slimes together. However, I don't make much money from the slime hutch, so maybe it wasn't the best investment, but it's what my husband wanted, and I had to deliver that. So, even with that extra building occupying space, it's so much space.
It's so much space.
I feel like that. Oh.
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, I feel like that's why like my first farm is such a disaster, because it was on the standard farm, and first off, had no idea what I was doing with it. But like, I have 2 barns and 2 coops that are maxed out, and like an extra building and everything else, and it's a disaster.
You still have way too much space.
Yeah. Yeah. It's.
Yep. Apparently the standard farm is for min-maxers, which I'm not exactly sure what that is. Would you mind elaborating there, Valvin? Please. But yeah, so like the beach farm, I'm really enjoying it. It's a lot of beach area, which is interesting. Also don't know what to do with the beach, but like you don't really do much with the beach other than like, you know, trees grow on it apparently, which is interesting. But yeah, so it's like, or like grass grows and stuff like that. So I've had the ability to, once I got the silo in, I was able to like hack all the grass and literally filled 2 silos worth of grass for the winter time, which is like
Good.
I've never done before, which is, you know, because normally you have to go down to Marnie, and I had to think about her name for a minute. Marnie, and then buy the hay in the winter time because, you know, you didn't stock up enough because your farm was covered in rocks and stuff like that.
or because you're like me and you're bad at planning, and then suddenly tomorrow's winter and you have no hay.
Yes, suddenly tomorrow's winter.
Yeah.
Okay, can I jump in here because I have never played Stardew. Where would I even begin?
Ooh. I think for beginners, it would be best to either play on the Switch with no mods or on the computer without mods and kind of just take everything in for what it is at first. And then I think that you could start slowly, because like there's a wiki for Stardew Valley, which is really helpful, but it's also really overwhelming when you first start out too. So I would just kind of ease your way into it, but there's no easing into Stardew Valley.
Yeah, no.
That's what I understand. I mean, my brother has been playing it since it came out, and so I've heard much about it with very little context. So it looks adorable, and I understand there are very rich storylines, but I don't really know what you do.
So yeah, you become a farmer. That's a very short way of putting it, but I would say doing it on stream was very helpful because for certain games, mainly Genshin, I've had to be very strict about no backseating, absolutely no spoilers. I want to figure things out myself. Also for Breath of the Wild, don't tell me how to solve this puzzle. I want to try to figure it out. I'm not a dum-dum. I'll get it.
Same.
But for Stardew, I actually had a completely different approach, and I said, help me, please, with everything. Tell me what to do. Because I think that is one of the ways that Stardew is very different from Animal Crossing, at least New Horizons, which is the only Animal Crossing game that I've played. But Animal Crossing New Horizons very much it holds your hand through everything. Like at any moment, if you don't know what to do, you can go talk to Tom Nook, Timmy, Tommy, an NPC, and it will tell you what you need to do. Stardew is not like that.
Oh, no.
Stardew very much just throws you in with the sharks and says, figure it out.
They do give you...
Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say, they do give you some baselines, like, this is your new farm, and this is where you can buy this, and this is where you can buy this. But there's no, like, hard and fast, you have to do this by this date kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yep. And I think it's honestly a true joy to figure it all out for the first time, or even to watch other people figure it out for the first time. It like honestly makes me really happy to see other people play Stardew for the first time and discover everything and learn everything that there is to know.
Oh yeah.
But I think like it was mentioned earlier, the Stardew wiki is an extremely helpful resource. Because if you don't know what to do with something, the wiki will pretty much give you not instructions, but a good amount of information, and it also marks spoilers very well. So
Oh,
if you
yeah.
don't want to be spoiled, it tells you this is where you can stop reading, which is like, I appreciate that a lot. But yes, I think it was very much necessary for me to have other people with me during the experience. Like, what do I do with this? What do I do now? And I know some people don't like to play games that way with other people telling them what to do, but for me, like I said, it really depends on the game itself. Because with Breath of the Wild, Genshin, I don't want people telling me what to do. I don't want people telling me which character I should play and which character I should not play, or this technique's better for this or that. But with Stardew, I'm like, oh, actually, that's a really good tip. Like, I will actually take note of that. Because Stardew is, it's a beast. Like, which is really why I like Concerned Ape is a god amongst men, to be honest. Like, there's so much in the game, to the point where you're always doing a million things at once, like all the time. It's like, oh, I'm gonna go fish, but oh, I got distracted. The traveling merchant's here. Fishing is gonna have to wait.
Yes.
And then you forget that you were fishing, and then you're like, I'm gonna go chop some trees now. And then you're like, oh wait, I was supposed to go fishing for this one particular fish that this one NPC wants. And then so it's very
that only shows up at a very specific time in a very specific season. Oh my god.
The wiki, very helpful. Having other people who have played the game, also very helpful. But I think definitely. My like basic, just like bare bones advice would be to plant your crops and water them every day. And fish. And year one, that's it. Don't worry about anything else. Just make money, get rich.
Fair enough.
You know, save your gold starred crops. You know, tip. Save your gold starred crops, and your purple star crops. Save those. You'll need them in the future. But honestly, year one is just about like planting crops and watering them and fishing. And then,
so
year
does
two
it take to do a year?
It depends. So when I did my very first Stardew farm, I finished year one in a week. Because the days are like technically 15 minutes.
Yeah, they're about 15 minutes.
So if you get sucked in, like, you'll go through, I've gone through 15 days in like an hour and a half, 2 hours, give or take, if I don't get distracted by other things. So,
which is almost an entire season.
Yeah.
Because the seasons only last like 28 days. And so 15 minutes long per day and 28 days in a season, you get through a whole year real fast.
Yeah. Also, you can technically cut days short as well. The day ends when you go to sleep, and then that's when a new day begins.
Yeah. And then in the winter time, what I would do is I would do all of my crops in the spring, summer, and fall. And then come winter time, when there's no ability to do any crops, and I've caught all the winter fish, I like Valvin said, he did they did mostly mining. I would just mine in the winter time. I would go in the mines and like collect all of the rocks and the ores and get to level 100 probably in about a winter, which is about 28 days. And then they added what, another 50 levels to the mines or something?
Skull Cavern?
No. The regular mines. They added some levels to it. I don't remember. I think it's like
20?
120.
I
Is
think
it
it goes up to
120?
120 now, yeah.
Okay. I couldn't remember. I went down the regular mine and like I was like, oh, 100 is not done? What?
And then I think that there's also, once when you unlock a certain part, like in the community center, I think that there's also another set of mines too. Like
Oh.
next to like the old mining cart center.
Oh, yeah, the other one. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know how to describe
Yeah.
it without giving spoilers.
Valvelin said the harder mines. So that would be what I would classify them as.
Oh, yeah. I gotcha. Yes,
with
the
the
harder
core.
mines.
By the
The
quarry.
harder mines. The ones where I almost died.
Yeah, those
Skull
are not.
Caverns.
No, the skull caverns are in. You need to do the bus.
Yeah, but I always
Then you
died
need the
going
whole
into them.
bus thing. Yeah. I think Alex and I were talking the other day about getting down to the 100 skull caverns using stairs.
Yep.
Oh yeah, but don't you technically get yelled at if you use stairs?
Yep, you do.
Yeah, yeah, but
Don't care.
I call it using your resources.
Exactly.
Yeah, so there's the skull cavern mines, there's the regular mines, and then there's the harder mines.
And then I think
So there
Ginger Island has mines.
And then Ginger Island has mines. Yeah, Mr. Chi yells at you. But yeah, I don't understand how you're supposed to get down 100 levels without stairs. Like,
I've never seen it done without stairs. I don't know if it's possible. Maybe someone out there has done it. I don't know how you would do that.
apparently you just need to be lucky. They saw someone do it, so.
Ooh.
Well, I guess I'm just not lucky.
Me
I wasn't gonna take my chances.
Me either. So, Cookie, does that answer your question?
I mean, mostly. I do have an unrelated tangential question.
Yeah.
I'm curious how the co-op farm works, Alex and Katie. Like, how does that work?
It's funny that you ask. Because,
all I can think about is the time that I almost didn't make it back to bed. The
Oh
game was
my
about
God.
to just end. The day was about to end.
So, yeah, so there are some things you need to account for in co-op. There are some settings that you can toggle. Katie and I chose to have a shared bank account for the so Katie and I pull from the same pool of money. And we're poor.
Obviously, all the time.
You have to buy like bigger backpacks to have more room in your inventory. So in single player, it's not that bad, but when you're in a co-op farm, everyone has to have the bigger backpack. So you have to buy the bigger backpack twice.
Yep. And
one for each person.
And if you're sharing funds, it drains it pretty
fast.
Oh my
gosh.
A lot
of money.
It will just be gone.
It's just, yep. We're always like, hey Katie, I'm gonna buy these seeds right now. So if you see that money dropping, I'm buying seeds.
Right.
Are you playing this at the same time?
Yes.
Yes.
Or can you play individually, but it happens to be the same farm?
No, we have to play.
I haven't done it that way. I don't know if it's possible. But like the way that me and Katie do it is we play it at the same time. Mm-hmm. But I've been able to log in and wait for Katie to come into the game. So I think it's possible, maybe.
I was about to say, I think it's the person that hosts the farm. I could be very wrong. But they can go in and play it, but like the people that are like co-oping in cannot. So technically, like, in order for me to play on that farm, I have to wait for Alex to log in before I can even get to it.
Right.
Oh,
well, there you go.
I didn't know that.
I read the wiki a long time ago. I could also be very wrong too.
Apparently you are correct.
Okay.
Yeah,
so I guess that makes sense why I can get into it. But
so Alex could go in and make all the money, and then Katie and Alex could go spend it. Like,
I honestly try to refrain because I don't want Katie to like come back into our farm and all of a sudden it's winter in year 3 or something. But
I would just work on romancing up Harvey and Haley then.
But another fun thing about co-op is that the game doesn't pause.
Oh no.
So if you are in a single player, if you go into any of the menus or if you're talking to an NPC, that pauses the game. And like I said, these are short days. They're like 15-minute days. So like every moment is precious time. So you want to be able to pause the game here and there. Yeah. When you're in co-op, you cannot pause the game.
It doesn't happen.
So sometimes you get caught up in a cutscene and all of a sudden it's almost 2 a.m. and you're gonna pass out and you're running, trying to get back to the farm so you can get in your bed.
Yep.
We should give some context about what happens if you get passed out and don't make it back to your bed.
Yeah, what happens if you pass out?
You get charged money.
Still your money.
Because either someone finds you and they're like, "Oh, I found you and it looks like someone stole some of your money." Or sometimes
or Joja finds you and charges
yeah,
you
Joja finds you. They're like, "Oh yeah, we found you. Glad you're okay. Also, we had to charge you for our service of picking you up. Otherwise, you would have died, but we got to charge you." Or if you pass out from your health, say in the mines, you're getting attacked, your health goes all the way down, you pass out, someone will find you in the mines, and then Harvey, the doctor, will have to charge you for his services. But you're keeping him in business, so, I mean, yay for that.
This is not Canadian healthcare, is what you're saying.
No, it is not.
No.
It's not.
So let's. Oh yes, you also do lose items in the mines.
Oh yeah.
Yes, which is unfortunate.
Yeah.
But I think you can get items back once from Mayor Lewis.
Oh no, from the Adventurers Guild. I thought it was.
Oh yeah, if you talk to him, he can try to go looking for your item, but you can lose multiple items and then you have to choose what he actually goes back and gets. So you could have lost multiple good things, but you have to choose one thing to get back.
The good thing. Yeah. So let's talk about Joja Mart. And so Joja Mart moved into Stardew Valley, and like they said in the description, the community center just kind of deteriorated. Now, are you guys pro Joja or against Joja? Because this is a huge.
Is this like big corporation?
This is a big corporation.
Yes.
Yeah.
Amazon, but worse.
Yes, I am anti Joja Mart. Joja Mart can go suck it. Yes, they may have cheaper prices for everything, but no. I support small businesses. Pierre's all the way.
No, not Pierre.
And yeah, but it's very interesting because I have seen people do capitalist runs of Stardew, capitalist playthroughs of Stardew Valley, where they do side with Joja, and it's always interesting to see how those play out.
I almost considered doing a Joja run through just to see the chaos that it would cause, like on stream, but also just to see like the different possibilities. But apparently, it takes like a lot of money to even do it, and I was like, yeah, no.
I also contemplated doing a Joja run. I couldn't bring myself to do it. I almost tried with this one on the stream one, the beach one, and I was like, I had to really think about it real hard, and I was like, I can't do it. I physically cannot bring myself to, because the guy, I just want to punch him in the face.
Morris?
Like,
he's so punchable.
I want to punch. Like, I just want to punch Morris in the face, like bop right in the face. Like, I can't help it.
Yeah.
So doing a Joja run for me I would be very upset. Yeah. So basically, it's like small business versus big corporation, essentially. And if you go the community center route, you work to restore the community center, and you interact with Junimos, which are these adorable little, they look like soot sprites, but they're not. Like, they're little spirit things. They're really adorable. Yeah, and they restore, once you give them a bunch of very specific items, they restore different sections of the community center, which then allows you to unlock different parts of different sections of the game that you can like go do, which is really fun. And I really appreciate that Concerned Ape added something like that in, because it really makes you think about, like, and not to get like super serious here, but it makes you think about, like, when you're buying like items, are you buying from a small business or are you buying from a big corporation, right? It makes me think about that every time I buy something, where I go, can I get this at a small business and support a small business? Or is like this one of those things where it's like, unfortunately, I have to go to a bigger shop to go get, right? Which is really, really interesting. It's definitely made me take a look at how I spend money.
Yeah, it definitely puts things into perspective. Totally agree with that.
That's really cool.
Especially being a small business owner myself, like, I understand and I appreciate, like, any orders that I get.
Right.
Which is,
yeah.
I don't expect them, but I always appreciate them. Thank you, Valvin.
Shout out for the soap shop.
Impromptu soap shop shout out. Okay. Katie, do you have mods on your game?
I have mods on one of my saves, and with the save that I have with Alex. So on the computer, I have mods, but I don't play on the computer a lot. I play on the Switch a lot more.
So I know, Alex, you have mods on your Stardew. Yes. What do you use them for?
So I have a list. I have a very convenient Google Doc that has a list of all of my mods. I don't think it's too many. I mean, if you look at the list, it seems like a lot, but it's not. When you think about what they actually do to the game, it's not actually that many. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
And for example, here I just wanted to make sure you have the link to that list.
Yeah, you can we can post it.
It's I have them sort of broken up into little sections. So I have in the beginning I have sort of the mods that you need for other mods to work. So
Oh, okay.
Smappy, Content Patcher, which is a very, very important one. Expanded preconditions utility, Space Core, and JSON assets.
Okay.
And then I have another little section where I list mods that affect gameplay.
Okay.
So carry chest is a mod that allows you to carry a chest that has items in it. So normally the game does not allow you to do that. You have to take all the items out to break the chest and then move it. Carry chest allows you to break the chest while keeping all of the items in the chest and move it. And then all of the items will still be in the chest.
Wow.
There is the mod Deep Woods, which adds another section to the game. And it adds woods that sort of not resemble, but same concept as the mines, where it goes in levels, and with each level of the deep woods, you have different things. But the deep woods are great for obviously harvesting wood, especially hardwood, which is in a limited quantity in the game without mods. But there are also some very fun things in that mod that are not just wood. However, those are spoilers, so I won't talk about those. Also, you can and very likely will get lost in the deep woods, which is why you have to take farm totem with you, because there's pretty much no other way out once you go in. You will get lost, and then you will pass out in the woods.
Oh gosh. I don't think I've been to the deep woods yet. I think that's one I haven't.
It's a very fun mod. It's very fun.
Yeah.
It's very useful as well. There's look up anything, which allows you to press, I believe it's F1 on whatever your cursor is hovering over in the game, and it will tell you more information about that. It's very helpful for the NPCs because you can hover your cursor over an NPC and it will tell you pretty much everything about that NPC. It'll show your friendship level with them, their loves, likes, dislikes, and things like that. I have Mal's.
For my real life friends.
That would be so useful, wouldn't it? That would be so useful. But I have Mal's Sebastian expansion with post-marriage events because I am a shrimp for my husband Sebastian. So I got Sebastian expansion. I have a mod update menu, which adds a section to the main menu of the game. Like the intro menu before you even get into the game. And it shows you which mods are out of date and which ones are up to date.
Oh, that's cool.
Which is very handy. I have NPC map locations, which allows you to see where NPCs are, so you don't have to go looking for them, because that's super annoying when you need to go find someone and you have no idea where they could possibly be. NPC map locations is the best.
That would be very useful.
Yes. I have Tree Transplant, which allows you to go to Robin and ask her to move a tree for you, so you don't have to cut it down and then replant it, because trees take forever to grow. So Tree Transplant allows you to pay Robin to move trees for you, just like Robin can move buildings for you. Awesome. I have a winter grass, which I won't be needing anymore, but winter grass allows your grass to survive in the winter. You can't plant or grow any new grass, and it won't spread, but your existing grass will not die in the winter, which is very useful. Because you might run out of food for your farm animals, which has never happened to me. No, never. Absolutely not. I would never allow that to happen. I care very deeply for my animals. And then one of my favorite mods is Zelda Items Pack, which allows you to get the Master Sword and Link's hat in the game. And I love it. I love it so much.
I love that hat.
Then the other mods that I have are less, I guess, they don't really affect the game so much as they're just aesthetic. So some of them change like the little sprites in the game to appear differently. We have Bathhouse Hot Springs, which changes the bathhouse into beautiful hot springs. We have Koi's hair sets, which changes the hairstyles in the games. L's cat replacements, which allows you to have different cats in the game rather than the base models that the game has. L's new barn animals, L's new horses, L's seasonal buildings. Then we have the mod Hats Won't Mess Up Hair, so you will retain your hairstyle even if you put a hat on. Seasonal outfits for the NPCs. So normally in the game they don't change their clothes, but with seasonal outfits they have an outfit for every season, which is like
cool.
Immersive, and it's very cute. Shiba Inu pet dog mod, which allows you to get a Shiba dog, and Vibrant Pastoral Recolor, which is probably one of my favorite ones because the base colors of Stardew are quite bright, and they can be a little harsh on the eyes. So the recolor sort of brings down those colors and makes it a lot easier on your eyes, at least in my opinion. So like I said, it sounds like a lot, but when you play the game, it's very close to the base game. They're more so little quality of life ones, like the winter grass, the tree transplant, the carry chest. They don't affect the game that much. And then we got a bunch of like aesthetic ones, which are just for aesthetics because I want it to look a certain way. So like I said, the possibilities are endless, and I get all my mods on Nexus Mods. Very reliable. None of them have broken my game at all.
That's good.
Yeah, and it's worth mentioning that you can mod an existing save. So my main save I used to have unmodded, and then I added mods to it, and it's completely fine. So you don't need to start a new save to mod the game. You just need to launch the game with Smappy, and it will have the modded version of the game.
That's awesome.
So yeah, that list, I sent you the link to that Google Doc. So if anyone's curious about the mods that I use, they're all listed in the Google Doc, and they have a corresponding link to where you can download that exact mod,
which I have shared in chat.
That there is a slow down time mod, which my brother has recommended that I engage if I ever decide that I want to play it, because one of my biggest complaints about like my time in Portia is that the days are just way too short. I can't cope.
There is a mod that does that. There's also a pause time mod, which allows you to pause time. I don't have that. I think like you should play the game however you want to play the game. And the way I play the game is I try to, like, I add mods, but I try to make sure that the mods that I add are fair. And I ask myself if having this mod would make the game too easy for me and less enjoyable, then I won't add that mod. But I think the pause time mod would be very good, especially if you have like anxiety about the time passing, which is what I used to. That was my main concern before I started playing Stardew. My concern was this is going to make me anxious that I can see time ticking on the corner of the screen, that I know the days are short and the time moves so fast. But honestly, I started playing the game and I was like, actually, time doesn't move that fast. Like, I can get a lot done in one Stardew day. So I personally have never felt the need for the pause time mod, but I think it has its like use, and I don't like, I guess, discount it or anything. I think it's valid if you use it. It's valid if you don't want to as well.
Mm-hmm.
That's encouraging, though, that you didn't feel a need.
Yeah.
I
Cool.
did at one time. There's also a mod, which may be the slowdown mod time, but I know that there's a mod that if you go into buildings, it kind of pauses the time. And I did that for a little bit because I wanted to work on like relationships. So when I went into buildings, it would kind of just pause it. And then I didn't have to like waste a whole time waiting for like Emily or Haley to come out of their room. So I think if you want to focus on relationships, that could possibly be a good mod too.
Interesting. Valvin says you eventually reach a point where you struggle to fill the day.
Mm-hmm.
So it's possible in the beginning that this might be something you use, but then you might stop using it when you're a little further in, once you have like things a little bit more automated, which you can get to, if you choose to. So yeah,
I
it's
totally agree. There are
yeah.
many days now where it'll be like, I don't know, 7, 8 p.m. in the game, and I'm like, I'm gonna go to sleep now. I
Yeah.
don't have anything else I can do today, so I'm gonna go to sleep and make it the next day.
Yeah.
Where like before, I'd be like grinding up until like midnight, 1 in the morning, and I'm like, okay, I think I need to go to sleep now, otherwise I'm gonna pass out.
Right? Like, yeah, there's in the beginning, I feel like you end up spending every waking moment doing something. And then at some point, once things start automating things, you have more time. And that's where like you can add in, oh, I'm gonna fish, or like, hey, I can build the relationship with this person, or I can understand their entire storyline and their backstory, which like I said, I had no idea that everybody had such rich backstories until Katie was talking about it. Like, Katie knows about all the backstories.
I know a good few of them. Yeah. Shane
Yeah,
and Alex
yeah.
has always hit me in the feels.
Yeah.
To me.
Yeah. And they're like you said, they're rich, and they're like, they're emotional, and
Oh, I've cried.
Oh yeah.
I've cried more times than I care to admit playing Stardew Valley.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm a crier. Like,
Yeah.
I'll just say that straight up. I
Fair
cry
enough.
numerous times. I don't think there's. It's been a long time since I've gone like a solid week or two without crying, but that's just who I am, you know?
Yeah.
And I those stories, like, you really feel like they're real people.
Yeah.
And I think what's so emotional about it is you will probably see traits of those characters in people that you actually know or have known in
Yeah.
real life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so it hits you even more when you relate them to that one person that you actually know or knew. And some of them are like sort of, like lighthearted or whatever, but others are they're very emotional and sad.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah. Especially the ones that like you're not expecting to get a cutscene, and then you walk into it and you just know it's going to be one of the emotional ones, and you're like, oh no. Oh no.
Oh yeah.
Here we go.
Oh yeah.
And you're like,
It's like
I wasn't ready.
like,
I wasn't ready.
I was saying this like a couple of days ago, but you'll be like on your way to go fishing or something. And then all of a sudden you're in a cutscene with Shane, and he's like, my life is a farce. And you're like, oh, okay. I guess we're doing this now.
Yep. That's how it goes.
Oh my god, that's
how it
so
be.
funny. That's so funny. Okay,
I mean,
so
I'm wrong. I mean,
Oh no, you're
can't.
not. You're not. You'll just be walking, going into a store, and you come out of it and you get a cutscene, and you're like, oh no, here we go. Or like the one with Alex and Dusty.
Oh,
I'm never prepared for that one either. Never prepared for it, and it always happens every time I come out of a store, or like out of Pierre's, or out of the saloon, or like Shane's. I'm never ready. Never ready for
So,
them.
have a box of tissues
Yes.
somewhere close by, because it's gonna potentially could hit you in the feels.
I used to joke.
Well, I mean, that's a pretty low bar for me. So yeah, I pretty much have tissues around me at all times.
I used to joke that I wanted a farming game, and then I got a farming game that came with a very big backstory, and I was not prepared.
Yeah. Oh. So, I have another question. What is each of your favorite maps to play? There's the standard, river, Four Corners, forest or mountain, and beach, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
I have only played standard and forest.
Mm-hmm.
I have to say I prefer the forest one.
Mm-hmm.
It makes it easier to get hardwood, which is an important resource in the game, and it's in like a limited quantity unless you have that mod that I was talking about earlier.
Mm-hmm.
It's harder to get, and so the forest farm definitely comes in clutch because you get some there.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, I've only played with the forest farm and the standard farm. And we were talking about earlier how it's so hard to fill up the standard farm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I've done the standard farm, the forest farm, and then I have the Four Corners for like my 100% playthrough. And I have to say, the Four Corners is probably my favorite just because of how it's sectioned off. So, like, it's very easy to put, like, your barn in one spot and your coop in another, and then your crops in one, and then you have, like, another area that you can put, like, extra buildings or the totems or whatever else you want on it. So it's not, like, I think design-wise, like, if that's what you're focusing on, it's probably one of my faves.
Mm-hmm.
But I would have to say forest if I wasn't focused on, like, designing or doing 100% on it.
Mm-hmm. I'm really enjoying the beach farm more than I thought that I would, honestly. It's given me a lot of space to not stress about, which is I'm really enjoying. But I understand the Four Corners one is probably a close second because I like the different sections for different things, like the section for like the barn animals, and the section for the coop animals, and then a section for like farming, and like I like that organization. So I think that comes in a close second for me. I agree. So I have a fun fact about Stardew Valley, which I learned actually just recently, which made me laugh very hard.
I'm always up for a fun fact. Hit us with
it. It's really funny. So Concerned Ape had to input a fix to resolve a Geneva Convention violation.
Right. Oh, I heard something about this, but I don't remember the details.
I read about this too.
So I assume that they didn't realize it was a violation until they were told about it. But
I mean, I hope so. I hope it wasn't deliberate.
Right? I don't think so. I feel like that he would not do that deliberately. I feel like it was an honest mistake. In Harvey's office, there was a red cross that only the Red Cross can use as a symbol. That's the Geneva Convention violation. So it had to be changed to a different symbol. So in the patch notes for 1.3, I believe it actually says fixed Geneva Convention violation.
Amazing.
Yeah, right? Apparently it happens. Alvin says it happens a lot in games because we associate the Red Cross with healing. Totally agree. But it is definitely funny when you see that in the patch notes going, a Geneva Convention violation from a video game?
Oops.
What?
Oops.
Oops is right. Oops is right. Oh my gosh. That was so funny.
I mean, I suppose it's technically a trademark no matter what filter you're looking at it with, but still, the fact that it was Geneva Convention in particular is pretty great.
Right? Right? Yeah. But like they fixed it. As soon as they found out about it, they fixed it, which was what war crime says Abigail committed. Oh my god. As soon as they fixed it, they knew about it, they fixed it. Oh, apparently Cookies, your volume is slightly low. Hang on, let me turn you up. Thank you, Redria. Let me turn her Cookie up. There we go.
I'm on push to talk, so it's possibly related to that, but thank you very much for saying so.
But yeah, I just thought that was like it was just funny that was a thing. I was like, oh, okay. I mean, who knew? Who knew?
Who would have thought?
Yeah, right? Oh, okay. I turned Cookie up, so apparently it's clear now. So Cookie, do you think that you'll get Stardew Valley or look at playing it in the future?
I mean, I think it's pretty likely.
Yeah.
At some point, I'm going to run out of steam on Animal Crossing New Horizons and Cozy Grove. I assume, probably. So I will need something to fill that gap when I have the energy to devote to it.
It's a very chill. You don't have to play it every day.
Mm-hmm.
You can play it when you have time to play it game.
Yeah, that sounds nice.
Also, Valvin challenges you. Don't worry, Valvin. I've got secret ways to get her to get it.
I will say,
so secret.
It's like what, $15?
Yeah, it's
on
like $15.
Steam. I got it on sale on Steam for I think $8.
Yeah,
and I say this all the time, but it's not an exaggeration. I mean, best $8 I have ever spent in my life. I mean, it's so rich in content.
Yeah,
for $8, that is a steal.
It is.
For the amount of hours that I've put into it already since June for $8, that's incredible.
Yeah.
I have to agree.
Yeah, I mean, like, right now it's on sale on Steam. I don't know what the Switch price is. Switch price is always a little higher. I feel like just because it's Nintendo. But it's the best money I've ever spent. And it was really funny when Concerned Ape dropped the teaser for The Haunted Chocolatier. My entire retweet was, take my money. Please take my money. Take my money. like
any minute now. I know that I will be interested in playing Haunted Chocolatier when that appears. So I've been holding off on Stardew, but this might tip the scale.
I say get it.
Yeah, it's like, what is it? Recently, a mutual friend of ours started playing it at the suggestion of like all of their chat. They are a streamer, and they are really enjoying it. And like the watching them play is just it's so nostalgic of like remembering when I learned all of this stuff. Yeah, it's so good. It's so good.
It's also like, I honestly wish I would have started playing it sooner, but I was
Yeah.
like so intimidated by that, like just the idea that I might get anxiety because the days are short, and like, oh, what if I can't do this, and what if I'm always looking at the clock? Like
Yeah.
that anxiety kept
Yeah.
me from playing it for a long time.
Yeah.
I
worried
just
about
wouldn't
that, I'm not gonna
even
lie.
give it a chance. But I wish I would have started playing it sooner, because it's honestly my true comfort game, which is like, it's so like, it's almost funny to say, but like Animal Crossing makes me more stressed and anxious. I feel like I can put hours and hours into Animal Crossing and then feel like I accomplished nothing.
Yes.
Stardew, I can put hours and hours into, and I see all the things that I was able to do.
Yeah.
So it's if that's what's keeping you, I would say like just dive in.
Yeah.
It's so good.
And don't worry about how other people play. You have to play Stardew the way you're going to play Stardew, right? There are people that are going to say, "Oh, you have to make all the money in your first year, to set yourself up." If you take 2 years to make all the money, take 2 years to make all the money. It's one of those games that you will accomplish something even if you do like a very few things in a run of a day. You catch a couple of fish, you water all your crops, like that's your entire day. Okay, that's okay, because those crops grow, and then you can clearly see that the care and attention you put into the crops will give a return. And
it ain't much, but it's honest work. Sorry, I had to.
no, you did. It's very true. It's very true. Like in the beginning, you honestly don't get a lot of money for your crops, but you keep going and you keep going, and you get you learn about different fertilizers, and eating food during the day so you can get energy back, so you can do more things, if you have the time, and planning out, oh, okay, I'm gonna get animals, I want to do it this time, so I need to make sure I have this much money, and like this is how much the money the animals are, and like you just kind of like figure things out, honestly, like. And
and I will say, even though the game doesn't hold your hand, it doesn't make it impossible to figure things out either.
Yeah.
I just think it's less direct than Animal Crossing. It's not like you can check in with someone all the time to be like, what do I do now? It's very much up to you what you do, which is sort of what I love about it. It's very, you have the freedom to do anything at any time, pretty much.
Yeah.
And there's always the wiki,
unless it's
too.
2 a.m.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wiki.
2 a.m. Yeah.
The wiki.
You always have the wiki, too, to like look up things if you get stuck, or if you're playing on the Switch or without mods and you can't look up like someone's favorite gift. I mean, the wiki goes pretty in depth with, as Alex was saying, with like a lot. So like you can always just Google. You can go on the wiki and see how much like you need to get a barn or something in case you don't remember. So I always keep the wiki up. I have like 4 pages open when I play.
Yep. Always. Apparently, eventually you buy a clock.
Yes.
Do you? Okay. I haven't gotten there.
And does that help?
There either. The clock?
I bought a calendar, which helps. Because then you don't have to go into town to look at the calendar, which is what you would normally have to do. Is like go into town and read the bulletin board to see like the events coming up. But if you purchase your own calendar, you can put it in your house, and then you can see when everything happens. And that is honestly the only way I will look at the calendar. I always forget. I'm so guilty of forgetting people's birthdays. So bad.
Yeah.
So bad.
Totally.
Yeah, I don't remember unless I'm trying to romance them up. Never remember
Same.
birthdays. And then I'm like, oh
Yeah.
it's Alex's birthday, or it's like Haley's birthday. I'm like, yeah, okay, I gotta get something that they like, and then I never have anything that they like, and I'm like, well, what do you not like that I can give you? And you get mad at me for it.
Oh yeah, there's a plethora of responses for gifted items.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's very different than gifted items for villagers. They will tell you that they dislike something.
Yeah.
Yes.
In no
Pretty much tell you
uncertain
it's trash.
terms.
In a less passive aggressive way than they do in Animal Crossing.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, most definitely. Most definitely.
It's not really related, but I gave a villager in Animal Crossing a Kiki and Lala star pin, and she was like, well, I don't really know if I can pull this off, but thanks for the gift. And I was just like, wait, what? Really?
I was actually looking through some of my old Twitch clips earlier. And I have a clip called "This is so unfair" because I went through the trouble of getting a pufferfish for Demetrius. And then I was like, oh, awesome. This is fantastic. I saw Demetrius approaching me. And I was like, I'm going to go give him the pufferfish. Well, Mayor Lewis got a little too close while I was trying to hand that pufferfish to Demetrius. And the game handed it to Mayor Lewis instead of Demetrius. And Mayor Lewis was like, this is disgusting. This is gross.
This is trash.
And I was like, no! My fish!
My favorite part is whenever you dig through the trash and they catch you. And they're like, ew, what are you doing? And I'm like,
yeah.
Good food. Like, I need that. Or like,
Katie is so guilty of getting caught digging through trash in our co-op farm.
Oh.
It's like every 5 minutes, I get a little notification at the bottom of the screen that says, Katie has gotten caught dumpster diving.
It tells on me. But my favorite part, it happened on stream, Alex, when you said your clip, I remembered. I was walking into town and I wasn't paying attention, and I went to the trash and like I went to go like lift the lid up, and Alex like just yelled at me for it, and I was like, I'm so sorry, because I didn't see him. Normally I try not to dumpster dive and get caught, but
yeah,
no, I did then, and I like panicked. I was like, I'm sorry. I felt so bad. Yeah, I get caught a lot digging in the dumpsters. Please just stop
that
out
is
these things that I could use and everyone could use.
That is
true.
So funny.
They do throw out useful things.
Yes. The amount of times I've gotten an eel out of the trash can.
Oh wow.
Because
those are harder to catch.
Mm-hmm.
So wasteful. Yeah. Like when Linus is in his story, I don't want to spoil it, but like I understand and like I get it,
Mm-hmm.
I get it. So that was a really good Stardew talk. I want to say thank you, Katie and Alex, for hanging out with us on this Wednesday evening. Well, we talk about such an amazing game.
Anytime.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
And we'll get Cookie playing it. Don't worry.
We'll get there.
We'll get there. So I think we're still up in the air as to next episode due to schedule changes again. But we'll be posting it on Twitter. You can find it at find the Petal Cafe on Twitter, and we'll post when we're going live with the next episode of the podcast. Alex, where can people find you?
You can call me. Yeah, go ahead, call me.
You people still do that?
Don't call me, please. You can find me at twitch.tv/Peonyskies, or my Twitter is Peonyskies TTV. And I also have Ko-Fi Coffee. It's also Peonyskies, so ko-fi.com/Peonyskies. And that is where I take tips and also where you can commission artwork. Yeah.
Woohoo.
Amazing. Katie, where can people find you?
You can find me on Twitch and Twitter under Katiieberries, and then Instagram under FictionAndLatte. That's where I pretty much post a lot of stuff. A lot of Macy content.
Love to
There's
see
never enough
Macy.
Maisie content.
This is
Yeah.
true.
I really do enjoy the Macy content. So, again, thank you both for joining us. We really appreciate it. Such a good talk about Stardew, and I hope that anybody that listens gives Stardew Valley a chance. Cookie.
I'm getting the message. I'm noting that there is a memo being conveyed that is addressed to Cookie and CC'd to the world, saying, "Give concerned ape all your money and just play freaking Stardew."
Yep, pretty
Sure
much.
that's what it says.
Yep, that's what it says. Yeah, yeah. So the Petal Cafe podcast is recorded live on Twitch and then uploaded as a podcast on YouTube, Spotify, Anchor.fm, or wherever you get your podcasts within a couple of days of the recording. If you liked what you're hearing and want to know when we're recording next, head on over to Twitter and Instagram and turn on notifications, or send us a DM to get an invite to our Discord. If you'd like more of us, check out the links in chat, comments, and show notes of all the places you can find Biscuit, Cookie, and our friends Peony and Katie, or Alex and Katie. If you want to support this podcast and our efforts to bring wholesome video game news almost every week, we'd love for you to check out our brand new fan house. Check out the fanhouse.app/the Petal Cafe, all one word, where for the price of a coffee, you can get access to things we're still working on and giveaways and more.
For inquiries, you can email us at thepetalcafe@gmail.com. Episodes of the Petal Cafe podcast are a production of Petal Cafe Media. Our theme music was written for us and licensed by our friend, the talented John Stewart Campbell. Special thanks to our Twitch moderator, Fantastical Valvewin, and all our friends who came in to hang out with us today. Thank you so much for being here, and have a great rest of your time zone.
Thank you.
Thank you, and good night.